Anthony Bourdain disses the craft beer scene. Terrible earthquakes cause disruptions for the Brew Monks. And Harry Caray brought back to life. I'm your host, Chris Hardie, and this is the Strait Beer News for the week ending November 6th, 2016. The online magazine Thrill List posted an interview with Anthony Bourdain this week that caused a lot of belly aching among the craft beer scene. If you're not familiar with Anthony Bourdain, he does a travel food show, or maybe a food travel show. I'm not sure what the emphasis is. I guess the emphasis would be on the travel more so than the food. So I guess it's a food travel show, and it's called Parts Unknown. On the show, he makes it clear to the viewer that he's very passionate and cares very strongly for good food. He likes to go to different places and try the local food, wherever it is. The show goes all over the globe, and he likes to go to really nice places, or places that are even off the beaten path, but that have good cuisine. In the interview, he was asked about, in part, what he thinks of his critics, and he mentioned that his toughest critics, or at least the ones who are the most vocal, are those who are in the craft beer scene, or those who love craft beer. He's most frustrated by those people who, after a show is aired, mention, hey, you could have gone 10 more blocks and found XYZ IPA. It's the greatest in the region, or it's the greatest in the neighborhood. He kind of got fed up with all the feedback from the craft beer people. In the interview, he mentions that bars are for a place to someone to go to and have a couple drinks, maybe get tipsy, drunk, chat with other bar folks, or talk with the bartender, kind of lament life's challenges, get things off your chest, just a way to put the world's cares behind you. His idea of bars may have been what the case was, years ago, maybe 5, 10, heck, 20, 30, 40 years ago. For example, if you watch the show Cheers, the popular sitcom, that's what Norm and Cliff were doing. They were leaving work, heading to a bar, having a couple drinks, putting their cares behind them, having a good time with their friends. That's maybe not how bars are today. As Bob Dylan says, times, they are a-changin'. People of this generation view bars a little bit differently than he does, or his generation did, or in the past. One of the things he also lamented was the fact that in a recent trip to San Francisco, he went to a bar and saw people out there with their paddles of 5 different samples, and he begroaned the fact that people are analyzing beers and the tastes, and that's just not his thing. And that's fine. I respect him. He's able to have his own opinion, and I just don't know that that's in sync with modern times. I think we need to realize that people like different tastes. They go to bars for different reasons, or they go to breweries to experiment and try different things or expand their palates. And I respect Bourdain for his opinion, but I don't think that he was in the right place to begrudge craft beer people and drinkers of what they like to do and how they like to drink. He can drink beer how he likes, and he should be able to respect those that drink in a different manner other than he does. On to the city of Norcia in central Italy. Now, this poor city has suffered earthquakes recently, and this happens to be the same location as the Brewing Monks. If you're not familiar with the Brewing Monks, they are mostly Americans, but they're Benedictine monks that have gone over to central Italy, to Norcia, a village that's about 100 miles north and east of Rome. Earlier this year, they started brewing beer as a way to raise money or to provide income for the monks that live in this monastery. And this was a big deal earlier in the year, maybe in January or February timeframe, when they announced that they were beginning to sell beer in the North American or in the U.S. market. They found a distributor who would sell their beer online to American consumers. However, in recent months, they've suffered a couple of major setbacks. In August, they suffered an earthquake of a 6.2 magnitude that killed 200 people in the village. After that earthquake, the monks set up a fundraising campaign. They're calling it Deep Roots, after, I believe, a biblical verse. And this is a way for them to provide an outpouring of support back to the community that they serve. Most recently, they've been dealt another setback. Just last week, they suffered another earthquake. Believe it or not, another earthquake, a 6.6 magnitude this time. So 6.2 back in late August, and then in late October, 6.6, and this just completely devastated the city. The basilica and the churches of the village have completely crumbled, and the monks are trying to step up their fundraising efforts to get the monastery, the basilica, the churches rebuilt, reconstructed, and to continue on doing the good that they do in their village. Unfortunately, it appears also their brewing facility has suffered tremendously as well. They say that the building itself is, according to the government, structurally unstable, and so they're uncertain now of how much longer they'll be able to brew beer, or if they're going to be able to continue in the near term until they get the building situated. The beers that they provide and that they distribute are a blonde ale as well as a Belgian strong ale, and I will have links in the description below. Hopefully you'll be able to support some of the fundraising that they're doing through their Deep Roots campaign, whether it's just offering funds directly to this campaign, or if you'd like to try their beer, it would support them tremendously. The beer is bottles of 750 milliliters, so they're the larger style bottles, and you can order them through their California-based distributor online. Lastly, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for winning the World Series. It's been a century in the making, and as a result, Budweiser is helping to celebrate the feat. They reanimated Harry Caray this past week in an advertisement. If you're not a sports fan, Harry Caray is a beloved Hall of Fame sportscaster, and he's got a very distinct look with very strong, thick eyeglasses, very strong, distinct personality as well. One of his favorite sayings is, "Holy cow!" He was a huge Cubs fan as well as a sportscaster. He wasn't shy about showing his allegiances. He wasn't neutral at all in his broadcasting, which made fans love him even the more. Now, the video isn't your typical 30-minute commercial. It's actually a 2-minute video, and it's actually Budweiser received the okay and the approval from the Caray estate, since Harry Caray has been deceased now for a number of years. The estate approved the Budweiser going through archives and culling the audio that they could to piece together and splice together this great video. The presentation is beautiful. It looks great, seamless, as the audio of Harry Caray's voice is laid over the video of the outside of the game. So you'll see, for example, at Wrigley Field, the number of fans that are in the streets watching the game at the field, or the reaction of the crowds in the pubs that are actually from the event itself, and with Harry Caray's voice narrated over it. It's spectacular to watch. What I liked best about it, though, was that it wasn't overdone. It was very classy, in my opinion, that there was no mention of Budweiser throughout the clip, that it respected the fans, the tradition of the sport, the team itself, and the city of Chicago particularly. So there was no mention of Budweiser until the very end. After the clip ended, then there was the Budweiser name. So I have a now newfound respect for Budweiser for keeping this advertisement classy and respectful. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate you tuning in to me. I do this every week, so I hope to see you back next week. I'm Chris Hardie, and I've been your host for Straight Beer News. If you want to reach out to me, you can do so by leaving a comment. Also, don't forget to thumbs up, like my videos, and please subscribe if you'd like to keep returning and seeing this news week after week. You can reach me out on Twitter, also on Instagram or Untappd. I will have those descriptions for you as to where you can find me in the links below. Also, don't forget, if you're interested at all in helping the Brewing Monks of Norcia, I will have those descriptions below. Also, I look forward to your input on what you think of Anthony Bourdain's comments. Again, I'm Chris Hardie. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Take care.